The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your SuperChats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
What a night it was, a T-squared social for the first ever Asmaniac watch party, where we watched the New York Jets remain undefeated in 2024. Jets beat the Panthers. We'll break down the game and share the biggest takeaways. It's the Jake Asman Show. Let's hit it and get it started.
Man, our Jets are primed for a historic season. We bleed Jets green each and every day. This is not the same old Jets. We have Aaron freaking Rodgers. We have Garrett Wilson. Let's go. We have Breece Hall. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super Chat, baby. Cut the line. We have Sauce Gardner. We have Quinnen Williams. The Jets bandwagon is loaded. Now it's time to talk all things New York Jets. It's the Jake Asman Show.
Here we go, Jets fans. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. If my voice sounds a little weak, well, you're going to have to excuse my voice because we had a lot of fun last night at the first ever Asmaniac watch party. I want to shout out everyone who came out. We had 200 plus people in attendance to watch a preseason game. Now imagine what's going to happen when these games count and we start doing watch parties. More info on that to come, but let's just say it's looking likely we will be back at T-Squared Social in the near future. I want to thank everyone once again who came out. I want to thank T-Squared for putting it all together and hosting us. It was a blast. Great to meet so many of you. Great to see so many of you once again. Thank you to everyone who came out. I sincerely appreciate it. The crowd was into it. It didn't feel like it was necessarily a preseason game from the energy in the building, but the play on the field certainly felt like, well, yeah, we're watching a preseason game. But that doesn't mean we wouldn't have a great time. We wouldn't have a bunch of Jet chants, which we absolutely did.
Let's go!
Shout out to Nick Shine for having the frame, the strength to put me on his shoulders. We'll recap more of the event coming up. And if you were there last night and you want to call in and talk about your experience, certainly hit that Gustbuster Umbrella hotline. Link is pinned in the comments, and we will make sure that we get a chance to hear from you. Some thoughts on the game. I had a chance to get up this morning and watch it back this morning just to get a better idea on what exactly happened, right? Let's start with the key takeaways here, like the big picture ones. One, how awesome are the Jets jerseys? Man, those new green jerseys that are actually old, but they're new again. They look great in game action. Can't wait to see it in an actual game. As far as things on the field, when you saw last night that Tyrod Taylor wasn't playing, you're thinking, okay, well, what will the Jets do for an encore at the quarterback spot? And the quarterback play last night was nowhere near as good as it was in that first game against the Commies. And based on what Salas said after the game, how they want to basically flip Peasley and Martinez and go with Martinez and Peasley for the Giants game, it does not sound like we are going to see Aaron Rodgers in that game next week. Hasn't been official yet. Salas said he hasn't made a decision, but based on his comments on the quarterback decision for next week involving Peasley and Martinez, I would not expect Aaron Rodgers to play against the Giants 6 days from now. I just don't see it. Now, some injury stuff. It's a shame because JBC was having another really good game, and he left in the first half with that groin injury, the Jets say, and he didn't come back. Now, I don't know if it's a serious injury. Same thing with the Herb Charles hip injury. He made a couple plays last night, which was nice to see. But, you know, that to me is the only injury notes that we're following here. It doesn't seem like either one was serious, but still, JBC having a really good summer, really good game again last night before he went down. You hope he's okay. as far as players who will have an impact on the 2024 Jets, it was really good to see Will McDonald. And I understand Will McDonald going out there and doing it against backups is not, the end-all be-all, but you want to see Will McDonald flash. And last week, he had a hit that didn't count due to the roughing call against the Commies. Last night, he had a pure rush, used that spin move, and it was good to see him make a play. So I'm excited for his potential still. I don't think he's going to take the Jermaine Johnson year 2 leap, but I think Will McDonald can be a really good, at least this year, situational pass rusher. Is he ever going to be a 3-down player and live up to being the 15th pick in the draft? Maybe, maybe not. But can he help the Jets win this season? I think the answer to that is yes. I was encouraged by that play by McDonald, and so was Brian Baldinger. This was Baldy on his Twitter account breaking down that McDonald spin move that led to a sack on 3rd down to help the Jets defense get off the field.
Let's key in on Will McDonald's final play against the Panthers. Watch the spin. 1, 2, and on 3rd step. You see that hook? He's got that elbow hooked on the tackle. Now, it's so clean. Once you get that, then how fast can you close? There it is. Now, Hunt. Go Hunt. Get down to quarterback. All right? 2-point takedown right there. On 3rd and 12, punt teams comes out. Will McDonald did his job. He finished the drive. That's a nice move. It's the only spin move he tried all night.
Great job by McDonald. Does he obviously still need to, add more pass rush moves? For sure. But that spin move is going to work a lot. And in a situational pass rushing role, I think he could basically do what Bryce Huff was in 2022, where you saw the potential, made plays, and then he got better, obviously, last year, culminating with a 10-plus sack season. So that was encouraging to see as far as players who will actually have a tangible potential impact on the 2024 Jet season. So that was good to see. Now, some other things I wrote down here. Good to see Olu Fashanu look the way he did at right tackle. I thought he was better at left tackle in that first game against the Commies, but this is a guy who is basically being cross-trained to be their 6th man, their swing tackle. Because let's be real. If there's an injury to Morgan Moses, they're not putting Max Mitchell or Carter Warren out there with Aaron Rodgers. They're going to put a guy that they use the 11th overall pick on out there with that first-team offensive line. And they should. Olu has been getting better, according to the coaching staff, all week as he's getting more and more reps at right tackle. And courtesy of Michael Nania of JetX, here are some of the all-22 pass block reps for Olu. He looked good in pass protection, which is all you really need him to be able to do. Because last year we saw Breece Hall with a horrendous offensive line still figure out a way to be one of the most productive running backs in the sport. So Fashanu, I thought, with the opportunities he had to play right tackle and pass blocking, he looked good. Now, the offense as a whole, we know it was a struggle bus. Quarterbacks, I didn't think, played particularly well. There should have been a touchdown that was missed. Martinez had a bad interception. Peasley missed a guy on 4th and 2. I think it was Braylon Allen that would have moved the chain to continue the drives. But Olu, for a guy who's not a natural right tackle, he looked good. He is going to be this team's swing tackle without question. And you hope he doesn't have to play a ton, but we just know how this goes with the Jets and injuries. Olu's got to be ready to step in. They're not going to move ABT to tackle. They're going to leave him at guard. And Olu coming in should make you feel really good about the depth on this offensive line. That was the play there that should have been a first down. But you watch this here, Olu looks natural. He looks good. So I seriously think the 2 biggest takeaways from this game involve McDonald and Olu, because those are 2 players who are going to have a role in this team. McDonald definitely from the start, especially with the unknown with Hassan Reddick. And then I think without question, you will see Fashanu play the second there's an injury to either Tyron Smith or Morgan Moses. And while I'm not rooting for injuries to Tyron, the reality is he has not played a full season since 2016. At some point, he is going to probably miss some time. And when that happens, having Olu be available to come in and play is going to be huge for this football team. If you're watching live right now, hit the like button. Super Chats cut the line. Questions about the game last night. Which players to you, Jet fans, stood out? What were your big takeaways from the game? We're doing the post-game show the morning after because we had a lot of fun last night. Some other players that I wrote down that I thought looked good. Obviously, on special teams, no one's looked better this summer than Brandon Codrington so far. Has he done enough to maybe steal a roster spot? Maybe, with the importance of the kickoff. Salah said afterwards they brought him in because of his kickoff return ability, and we saw that last night. Codrington with a big return, 63 yards? That was nice to see. Braylon Allen in short yardage. How awesome is this guy? He's going to help. I know the stats aren't eye-popping, right? You look at the numbers last night for Braylon Allen, and I have it pulled up here. 8 carries, 27 yards. His longest run was just 4 yards, but you see the potential there in the short yardage. Anything 4th and 1, 3rd and short, Braylon Allen, give that man the football and get out of the way. And I thought Isaiah Davis, even though, once again, the stats aren't going to show it, right? 4 carries, 14 yards. I thought he looked good. I thought he looked shifty. He looked elusive. I think the Jets have a really good running back room. We know Brees is maybe the best in the sport. But I think Allen's been really impressive, and I think what we have seen from Davis has also been nice to see so far. We will see about Izzy Abanikanda, whether or not he has done enough to make this football team if they keep 4 backs. But I think you feel pretty good about this running back room. The other player I want to highlight, Tack McKinley. Can we get him some more reps this week? Maybe against rosterable offensive linemen? I'd love to see that against the Giants coming up. Other players I noted, I thought Quantez Stiggers looked good. This guy is a phenomenal tackler. Very rarely do you see defensive backs that fundamentally sound at tackling. And yeah, it's preseason, but this guy looks really good. And the other note I had, Austin Seibert's an NFL kicker. The Jets are very clearly doing him a service and showcasing him this summer. We know Greg the Leg is this team's kicker. He's one of the best in the league. But Seibert's a guy who is going to be added by somebody that is in need of a kicker because this guy's been great. He's probably the MVP of the game last night. Felt like we were watching a Jet game from last year with the way the Jet offense looked at times. A 15-12 win. But as they say, a win is a win for the Jets. They remain undefeated in 2024. But overall, if you're looking for some major groundbreaking takeaways from this one, I don't think you're getting that, right? We're talking about the bottom barrel of the roster as far as spots being up for grabs. There was some thought earlier this summer, maybe Xavier Gibson's competing for a job. He didn't even play last night. He's on this team as a slot guy. He's on this team as one of their returners. You look at Malachi Corley, I thought he made some plays last night. Good to see. But at this point, I think you have a pretty good idea what this roster is going to look like. There's a couple spots maybe at the bottom that are up for grabs, but I really think at the end of the day, 3 biggest things from last night, if you didn't see the game. 1, no major injuries, it doesn't appear. 2, Olu looked good at right tackle. 3, Will McDonald looked good in his limited reps. Nice to see him come up with a sack. If he could be a solid situational pass rusher, you're fine with that for this year. We could debate if it was a good pick, if that's all he ends up being. But if he goes from what he was last year to a guy who could basically be what Bryce Huff was in 2022, I think you sign for that now. And that, to me, are the 3 biggest things from this game last night. And once again, a 4th, those jerseys, man, nice. Sick. Can't wait for them to wear them in games that actually count. Hit the like button if you're just tuning in. Gusbuster Hotline is open. If you were at the party last night, thank you for coming out. It was an honor and a privilege to meet the great V-Man for the first time in person. Here's a live look of watching a Jet game with V-Man, what that looks like. What a time it was. Once again, thank you to everyone who came out last night. It was so much fun at T-Squared Social. To everyone who enjoyed little specialty drinks at T-Squared, thank you. The $5 gangrene T-shot was a major hit. The amount of shots that T-Squared probably sold last night, Can't even imagine. Can't even imagine. So, Jet fans, hit the like button, subscribe to this channel. We talk Jets every day. Before we get to your calls and we talk about what went down last night at T-Squared, a reminder that today's presenting sponsor is Huga House. Get the hat I'm wearing. Get the hat Aaron Rodgers is always wearing by going to hugahouse.com and using the promo code Asman at checkout for 15% off your Huga House hat. Buy one hat with that code. You'll get the second hat 30% off. Huga House, Huega house.com. Promo code Asman at checkout for 15% off. Shout out to Huga House for being a part of our show. All right, Gusbuster Hotline is open. Ladies and gentlemen, first up on the Gusbuster Hotline is a man who needs no introduction. So I don't have an intro for him, but I do have this. How about what occurred before the event last night when we were joined at Alden's Shoe Store by a very special guest.
I will sing that song for you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Mr. President Bonesy. Happy birthday to you.
Yeah.
Look into my eyes.
It's recorded.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Mr. Bonesy. Happy birthday to you.
I thought that was fabulous. Very brave, very bold.
Rat Diddy paid for a fake Marilyn Monroe to sing happy birthday to Bonesy at Alden's Shoe Store before the party started last night. Who did it better, though? Marilyn Monroe or Nick Shine, who joins us now? Hello, Nick.
Good morning, sir. How are you? That was fun. That was a great time. I don't drink, and I'm physically exhausted from yesterday. That was a blast. That was brilliant. Well done, ladies and gentlemen. Jake Asman.
Are you calling me fat because I rode your shoulders last night?
No Diddy, and no. That's just the whole day was, dude, you're safe, man. Anyone who gets up on these shoulders, they're wider than the seats and more supportive than the seats at MetLife Stadium. You're good. You don't have to worry about going anywhere. That was fun, man. That was a really good time.
Nick Shine shoulders, everybody. They did it.
I was more happy that my knee held out after the knee surgery. I was like, all right, this ACL therapy worked. I'm good. That was fun, man. That was a really, really good time. Some of the Jets takes, that McDonald's spin move, granted against the backup, but you can't teach speed like that. You got to, as a tackle, you got to decide, am I worried about him getting upfield, which he can blow by you, or am I worried about him breaking into that spin? So he can set that up. You give him one-on-one. You put him out in the wide 9, and you let him just go tee off. You know, you can't teach speed, right? In basketball, you can't teach height. In football, you can't teach speed. And when you have speed and you can put the pressure on a guy to figure out, is he going upfield? Is he turning back? What am I going to do? Are you going to leave the pocket clean? Do you stunt in the middle to create that spin lane for him to get into and crash down on the quarterback like that? Granted, against the backup, but you could see he's starting to get that move locked in. He uses his elbows in it to get that elbow into the back of the tackle to prevent, or you're going to hold him. Or you're going to hold him. They're going to have a wide open view with a hold when he does it, and we'll take that, right, just along with the sack. So, and I
thought it was interesting, too, by the way, afterwards, listening to Salah's press conference, they asked him about McDonald, and he said, we know he's going to rush the quarterback. We're not worried about that. Like, very, like, don't want to say arrogant, but very like confident that like whatever people are saying about McDonald on the outside, like they know internally, hey, we got to roll for this guy. And we know at the bare minimum, he's going to be good at what Bryce Huff was, say 2 years ago in that role.
Did you get to see the clip of Broderick Jones, who Jets fans have lost their minds over? We should have took him, get thrown like a rag doll last night.
Yeah. Thank you, Bill Belichick.
Thrown like a rag doll. And then gave up a sack. It was pathetic rep. Granted, it's one rep. Will gets a sack, good rep. Jones looks like trash, bad rep, but still. Grown men shouldn't get thrown around like that.
At the end of the day, if Will McDonald turns out to be a really good player, you won't care about Broderick Jones. That's just how it works.
Yeah. When we have Olu and then we go get another right tackle next year and we have two bookends for the next decade, no one's going to care about Broderick Jones being a swing tackle for Pittsburgh because he couldn't cut it as a starter.
Completely agree. Now, as far as T-squared last night, Nick.
Great event. Great.
What was your favorite part?
Jeez, you're going to make me pick one?
You can pick a couple, fine.
Hitting the longest drives on the golf simulator. Me. Unfazed by you throwing the sponge footballs at me, which your target was amazing. You were hitting me dead center in the back every time I'm swinging. Hanging with Carly. Carly's becoming like my best friend. Whenever we hang out, we're talking, we're having a great time. You know, getting to meet everybody was really awesome. I thought the event itself, the place, is great for an outing like that. They got the different size TVs, different angles to watch at. Wherever you're at, sitting wise, you got a view of the TV. The water was outstanding. Ice was tremendous. Very good. The water was tremendous. It's top notch water.
We're gonna add the Nick Shine water for the next one to the menu here.
Nice.
You'll get your own name.
Nice. I am disappointed for all those who did drink that the Jets did not score a touchdown, and you never got the $4 special with the shots. And it's the second time you and me been together. We did the green and white scrimmage, and we said, first team scores a touchdown, you get on my shoulders. This time we're like, we score a touchdown, get on my shoulders. And then before the game, I'm like, why don't we do it now? Why don't we get up here now? Let's get this done before the game starts. And good thing we did, because I'm going to do a little prediction here, and we can clip this for later. The New York Jets are going to win the Super Bowl on a field goal kick. The way this season's lining up already with just field goal kicks, we're going to win it all on a field goal kick from about 49 yards, and that's how the season's going to end. I just have a feeling like it's going to come down to special teams, and then I love Greg Zuerlein. He is automatic, man.
It is wild if that scenario plays itself out.
We'll take it, right? Who cares? Who cares if we win on a safety? We win 2-0. Who cares? As long as we win.
I'll make it clear. Don't care how they win the Super Bowl. But I don't know if I will be able to survive that moment of sitting there, having no control over the situation as the Jets are lining up for a chance to win a championship on a field goal. Could you imagine? I can't. Yeah.
I hope that moment occurs. But yeah, man, you picked a great place. That they were great. The food was good. We had a burger. The boy had a good time, and we didn't even get to do all of the. They had darts in the back. They had the basketball shooting game over by the 43rd Street entrance.
Yep.
And, so it was great, and meeting everybody. People from your show who've seen me come on here. Like, I know I got to get over to your show, but I just want to come over and say hi. For me, you're used to this, Jake. I'm gonna glow for a minute. You're used to this, right? You're Jake. People come up to you on the street in New York and say, "Hey, I listen." To have some people that I don't know of yet, like, come over and say hello, was a really cool moment, man. And I'm happy to be a part of this Jet fan ride. This is tremendous.
Well, Nick, it was an honor to ride on your shoulders last night.
That's it, man. Unfortunately, you were the only one that got the ride on Nick. But your dad was cool. I said to your dad at one point, I was like, how about the good old days when you can light up a cigar in any place in New York City? He's like, we got to go to the Havana Club. I'm like, I'm in. You say the word, I will go.
Sounds like my dad. Yep.
Yes. Yes. But very well done, man. Kudos to you, ladies and gentlemen. Great, Jake Asman. Terrific
ladies
event. If you were debating, should I go? Should I not go? If he does another event, it's worth it. The scenery, the people, the fans, Carly was right. The bathrooms were tremendous. Individual bathrooms, very clean. I know she promoted that heavily.
She licked the floor last night at the test just to make sure it was clean. Very, very weird behavior. I don't know why we keep her around.
We deserve a Super Bowl. From the outing that we had last night, the fans alone getting together for a meaningless preseason game.
It's insane.
And the energy that we had for a game with no starters. We went nuts when Aaron Rodgers went on TV for an interview, James.
Yeah, that was great. So when Rodgers is doing the interview and the entire crowd is chanting, Aaron Rodgers. And then when Garrett Wilson came on too, oh, that was so funny.
And I look at you, I'm like, what the hell kind of chain is that? And then we found out later when we could hear it was Javon Kinlaw gave him one. He's like, we got to get you looking good for the interview. But I love the chemistry of this team. Javon Kinlaw's new, right? Rodgers saying he's my new best friend. You know, it's like me and you, the big guy and the quarterback, right?
I love it.
Like you got to have the big guys protecting the quarterback. So it's fantastic. Joe Douglas, Joey Third Leg, as our buddy Bonesy says, has done a tremendous job of putting this roster together, man. And when they get to the 25-yard line and in, it's fade to Brownlee. Like Jets fans, these are plays we're going to run to Mike Williams. The running back that dropped it, Breece Hall's not dropping that from Rodgers, the one by the pylon that the running back dropped on the down and out. We saw that play last week when we were together. Breece isn't dropping that. That's a touchdown for Breece. So you see the plays that we're running. Guys are open. The ball's there. When it's the A team out there, we're going to put a lot of points on the board. So don't get stressed out about field goals by guys who won't be affecting regular season games. The playbook looks a lot better. Even our backups, they're getting the ball out on time. You know, it's a new day with the Jets, and I'm excited to be a part of it with all you guys.
Nick, you're the man. Good luck to your shoulders in recovery and the knees.
I'm good. Just do me a favor. Don't gain weight. Stay young. Stay fit. We're good. We're good. If you start putting on the little pot belly, stay with the liquor. Stay with the whiskey. Don't get the beer belly. All right.
I mean, I'm feeling the effects of probably close to 10 gangrene tee shots last night. My goodness.
Yeah, it was awesome, man. That was a lot of fun. And I'm pissed. I see pictures in my Discord this morning of Clancy. I left with 6 minutes left in the game. I'm yelling at Clancy this morning. When the hell did you get there? He's like, like 5 minutes left. So me, Tom, and Nikki, Tom Ace, and my son must have left, and then Clancy walked in. So I was upset that I missed out on him, but it was great seeing everyone, man. Awesome work.
Ladies and gentlemen, Nick Shine, everybody. I appreciate the comments here saying Jake does not sound good in his voice. We hear it in your voice. I'm aware, folks. It's called alcohol. Some super chats to get caught back up into here. If you were at the event last night, call in, share your thoughts on the experience. We'll add you first to the show so we could hear from the Asmaniacs on what went down last night. Sco with a super chat finally got to meet the great Jake. The best was meeting Sco and being like, oh, so you don't actually look like Grimace. That's all I knew of Sco. I've never actually seen what he looks like other than the fact on Discord his icon is Grimace. Drew says, so much fun last night. Awesome meeting everyone. Drew, great to meet you, man. Nate checks in. We'll hear from Nate in a moment. My firstborn son will be named Quantez, boy or girl. Nate, parentheses, Nate was in the house last night. Anderson says, can't wait for the season. You're damn right. The big fella with a $20 super chat. Preseason is not only for the players, but the coaches as well. I'm done with Kunst. Let me say this about Kunst. He has no chance of making this team. He's on the practice squad for another year of development if he's around. Backup line looked decent except for Warren. I'm going to have to watch back Warren. Yeah, I mean, the offensive line I thought last night for the most part was fine. I really only watched Olu, though. I focused in on him because he was the only potential starter out there. And I know he's not a starter yet, but we just know at some point he's going to be called upon. I thought he looked good as we showed you the all 22 reps of Olu at right tackle earlier in the show. For those who missed it, rewind to the beginning. Codgerton, I think right now we should make the team, right? If we're valuing the ability to impact the game on special teams, especially now with the kickoff rules being what they are, has Codgerton not done more than Herb Charles, especially now that Herb is hurt, and we'll see what his injury is? Right, if you're going to carry a special teams only player as a seventh receiver, right, if that was a thought process, then why not just keep Codgerton? As for Salah, he still has no game awareness and is a liability. I don't know about that. I mean, I was joking with JJ, who came last night. JJ was right when the Jets weren't going for it on fourth down. We were like, go for it. But, I mean, it's preseason. They won the game. Salah, by the way, is 9-2-1 as a head coach in the preseason. Means absolutely nothing, but it is one of those random Jet stats. Craig checks in with a super chat. Sorry I couldn't make it last night, Jake, but I'm looking forward to the next one and becoming part of the community. Craig from South Jersey. Craig, I appreciate you. I get asked a lot, hey, Jake, what's the best way to connect with everyone, be a part of the community, as Craig just said? You join the Patreon, folks. It's just $5 a month. It's less than a cup of coffee. Patreon.com/Jake Asman Show. You get shows every month that are not on YouTube. You get access to the Discord. You get 15% off on every item in the merch store, meaning if you plan on buying any merch from jakeasman.com, you're going to save more than $5 with the discount code. So you're getting a free month of Patreon, basically. Patreon.com/Jake Asman Show. Thank you to Chuck, Ben, 8path, Joseph, Dr. V-Man, Chris, and Carlos for being our most recent Patreon subscribers. Appreciate everyone on there holding it down. And if you want more behind-the-scenes photos from last night, like this one right here of me and V-Man, you have to get on the Discord, which you gain access to when you become a Jake Asman Patreon member. New Jersey Super Trucker just became an Asmaniac. Hit the like button if you're tuned in. We got 470 watching, only 203 likes. The math is not math. Johnny says, happy Sunday, Jet fans. A victory Sunday for the second week in a row. Kevin in the house. He says, watching Jake and Nick do the Jet chant with everyone was cool. Wish I was there to witness in real time. Great job, guys. Chef Kevin, you were missed, my man. Bang says, Olu has to improve anchoring. Gets pushed back a lot. Olu's still a young player, and he's not playing his natural position right now. He takes well to coaching. He's in a great room with two veterans. I loved what Rodgers was talking about during the interview last night with the offensive line being player-led with great veterans like Tyron and Morgan. I'm not worried about Olu, Bang. I think you could tell early on, it looks like the Jets got that pick right. What level of player is Olu? Like, is he a above average player? Is he a Pro Bowler? Is he, that remains to be seen. But this guy is not going to be a bust. This guy's going to be a good football player. Bang Mateo says, Stiggers, Davis, Converse, Allen, I'm excited about it. Wow, rare positivity from Bang Mateo. Hey, shout out to listener Glenn Q, who just became an official Asmaniac. Thank you, Glenn. Let's get back to your calls right now. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us on the line is someone who was in the house last night. Ladies and gentlemen, Nate, Nate, is up next. Hello, Nate.
Good morning, Jake. Absolutely stellar job last night. I was, like I told you, I'm not one that would go to Midtown for many reasons, and I didn't have high expectations of the place. T-squared is the spot. I said this to you last week. I'm hoping to make it the spot. Or I'm hoping you can make it the spot for Jets home games. I was talking to Carly last night. Like, she's got to get out there, market. She's the queen of marketing. Got to get all the Jets fans in there. There's so much space. I don't know if you advertised, and I mean, you did tons of advertising, but there was no drink minimum. It's free to get in. The simulators were free. You could golf. You could play football. You could get, Tom Ace was one of 25 people that signed up to win a Garrett Wilson football, and he won a Garrett Wilson football. So
yeah, let me give a shout out to Tom Ace. The great Tom Ace was the recipient of the Garrett Wilson football that ESPN New York sponsored last night. So congrats to Tom. There was nobody more deserving of winning the G-Dub signed football, which was great.
That was genuinely the most excited I saw you last night when I broke the news that Tom Ace won the football, and I ran over to him to take a picture. That was really fun for him. But yeah, it was like 1 in 25 chance. And when they gave it out by halftime, it was so cool. Like unless you're Nick Shining and willing to throw a busload of kids out the way, like you're not getting a Garrett Wilson autograph like that. So just
True.
stellar job by you. I got tons of ESPN gear from Jake. They were there repping shirt from them. We got hats, we got keychains, we got banners. Like it was just an excellent job.
Thank you,
Although
Nate. I'm
last
glad you
night
had a
it
good
was
time. It's a great spot. It really is.
Nick, that is timely that Nick was typing that because we could read the super chat, but I was gonna tell him I was up all night throwing up with those. I had a couple of Carly's cookies, and oh man, like I'm teasing. They were actually excellent. They just tasted like
Well,
Jet sugar cookies.
The secret ingredient is crack.
Is it? That's
Mhm.
so that's why I was up all night. Okay,
Yeah.
it wasn't that they were sick. All right, understood. Well done. Regarding the game, another great preseason game. Like nobody got hurt. Quantez Stiggers looked like CB1. I, he was. I mean, I'm you know me. I'm number one Quantez Stiggers fans, but I love the guy. Like special teams. What you mentioned, Irv Charles. Like I think Quantez. There's a spot that he was such a good gunner, and he has been a good gunner for the first 2 games in preseason. He made a couple plays last night. I think he cracked a guy on special teams too. He's a guy who could replace, that Irv Charles along with being a backup corner as as our premier gunner possibly, and would leave a role for possibly Codrington, who looked like a natural returner. You alluded to it earlier. He looked really good. I told you yesterday when I called in from Boston that I wanted to see Peasley and Martinez against the twos. I was like, don't forget Tyrod. I don't need to see Tyrod start. And I'm really glad they did that because they look terrible. I don't want to see him against guys that are going to be working at Amazon next week. I want to see him against guys who are probably going to be in the NFL. And Peasley looked like Tim Tebow. Gary actually said he was saying Peasley looked decent or something in Discord. Gary, that was an insane take. Not to bring up Gary and ruin the morning. But Peasley threw for 3 yards an attempt and was every chance he could was running. Like he's got to know he's not going to make a roster scrambling around in the preseason.
Well, I mean, but like here's the thing. Like that's typically what it looks like. Last week was the outlier that we happen to have not one but 2 third stringers actually look like they were competent. Like more often than not, what we got last night is what you see in the preseason, like 15-12. That is a pretty accurate depiction of what preseason football typically looks like when both teams aren't playing any of their starters.
I mean, I was having some of those shots last night, but I thought I was watching Tim Boyle. Like he had 33 yards at halftime. He had the entire half, and he had 33 yards on 10 attempts. It was. I think we can all ease up on like the Nick Martinez Peasley hype that was in your show the last week because of a nice couple throws.
Yeah, one of them will be on the practice squad. One of them will be cut. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah, I agree. Did you see the story about Quantez Stiggers? I don't know if you heard that he had 73 cents in his bank account going into the draft.
Yeah, I mean, his story just in and of itself with the tragedy in his life and his family and everything he's been through. It's a great story. He looks the part. I will say, his tackling skills are NFL caliber, like starting level caliber. Like very rarely do you see defensive backs be able to tackle the way he does. He plays fast for a guy who's never played in the league before.
I saw that too, and to your point, like in terms of replacing DJ Reed next year, like I think we don't need to. It's been a luxury to have 2 lockdown corners, but if we have a Michael Carter, one of the best slots, Sauce outside, an amazing D line, like a CB2 like Stiggers who can cover and like you said, play really physical, play well at the line, like that's the type of guy that can fit into the defense. You don't need the 3 best corners as much as we loved having that. So I'm hoping he can battle for the job next year. Briefly, Jake, I know. Well, I did want to mention Nick's son. Did you meet Nick's son last night, Nick Jr.?
Of course, yeah.
I'm calling it right now. He's the next Jeremy Ruckert. He took my right hand with me. Like that dude's hands. He's a sophomore in high school, and I wouldn't want to pick a fight with him. He's massive. I was like, dude, is that kid's a singer? He's a big dude with big paws. Shout out Nick Jr. Keep doing your thing. We both were interacted with he wasn't an Asmaniac. He told me twice he wasn't an Asmaniac, but he wanted me to tell you a story. He physically pulled me to the side by my hands and sat me down, Jake. and I actually recorded a voice memo. I don't think it's great quality, but he told me he wanted to spread it on all of the YouTubes, and he wanted me to be the messenger.
Oh God.
So from James Rodriguez in the chat. James, I'm sure you're watching. You told me you watch everything. You wanted me to deliver the message. He's 78, turning 79 years old, Jake. He's a former season ticket holder. He listened to NBC, Bill Mazer, and Art Russ Jr. growing up. He mentioned O'Leary, he mentioned Boy Green, he mentioned everyone. He listens to them all. You are the next coming of Bill Mazer, according to James Rodriguez, and he wanted me to pass that message on to you directly.
You couldn't just tell me that last night?
No, I have to call into all the shows. He wants me to call into all the shows and tell
pass
everyone
the message.
that they're all good, but he sees it and he thinks I would agree because I call in and he says that you are the next Bill Mazer. I don't know who Bill Mazer is, but he wanted me to pass that along live on the airwaves. He doesn't like to call in, but he says he watches everything and he sees everything.
All I know is about that guy. One, I appreciate the compliment, James, but James had a habit of just grabbing people like it was one of those like slap wrist things. I have never seen someone grab.
It was a vice grip.
Can I show you the greatest photo that was taken last night?
Please. The moment of the night.
This was the moment. So last night, JJ was there, folks. It was great to see him. Him, Dre, Rob from Glenhead. They came together. They talked it out. They're going to get all on the same page. JJ says if Robert Saleh doesn't go 17-0, that the Jets need to fire him. But other than that, it was a great night, right? You look at this picture. The problem with this picture is James Rodriguez, the clamper, is clamped on the JJ's arm. And this was the whole night. All right. James Rodriguez, who, Nate, you said is 77, turning 78.
38, turning 79 next week. Happy early birthday.
Well, the clamping that went on last night, and this picture is just a microcosm of what went down. All right. They call him the Grim Gripper because
and
it
Jake,
was just
I don't know
out
if
of
you
control.
noticed. I don't know how many times you got clamped. I got clamped 3 times last night.
I couldn't. I had to run away from the guy. He was clamping me, man. I had to run.
Yeah, I got clamped 3 times. I know Carly got kissed 3 times. Dre caught a smooch on his bald head on the way out from James. That was a sight. But as the beers went, as he kept drinking, the grips were like, yeah, I thought I wasn't gonna get my left hand back on the at 3 beers deep. That third vice grip, he's like, I need to talk to you on the side, and I was like, Carly, please watch me, make sure he's not pulling me. Yeah, it was, but he was fun to talk to. It was great to talk to all of the Asmaniacs. Jake, you built a great community, and I always tell this when people make fun of me being a Jets fan, sports is about memories and community and family, and that was felt to a T last night. So that was a stellar job by you. It was great to meet everyone in the chat that's all talking right now, and got to a bunch of people were coming up saying they love how I shit on Gary, so I will continue to do that. Thank you for that, everyone.
Nate, I appreciate it, man. And I'll say this to those who have FOMO, for those who want to be a part of the next one, keep that Monday night open for week 1, folks. All right? Because there's a strong possibility we're headed back to T-Squared Social for a watch party unlike any other.
There's no reason not to go. Like I said, I'll be there, even though I probably can't watch a game there. I'm going to pregame, I'm going to meet everyone, and then I'll bike home in 5 minutes and probably watch the game freaking out on my couch.
How it ought to be.
Stellar job, Jake. Thank you so much. We'll see you in September for the next one.
Nate, appreciate you, man. Thanks for coming out last night. Nate, parentheses, Nate, everybody. One of the greats. Great. When JJ came in, that was a great moment. Who's got the video of that? Someone filmed it. It's in the Discord. JJ and Rob meeting for the first time. JJ and Dre. JC Jets, who was in the house last night. JC, someone thought that you were Aaron Rodgers when I reposted your picture on my Instagram. Just so you know. It was great meeting everyone last night. I was proud to wear my Asmaniac shirt. Love it. Edward with a super chat. Thank you, Edward. Purple Belt Mike checks in. Do it for a regular season game. I got severe FOMO. That is the plan, folks. We need regular season V-Man at T-Squared Social. Look at this guy. Unreal. I have so many pictures I want to show, but StreamYard is actually the worst app ever. And it's so annoying to try and upload stuff. So I'm just going to show you off my phone. Like JJ and B-Man meeting. What a great moment. Let's see. I have so many funny photos. Check the Discord if you want more behind the scenes. Like, look at this crew right here. JJ, Sco. The quality here sucks. Sorry, guys. VR, Rob from Glenhead, Dre. Look at this. You wouldn't know that 3 of the 5 people in here have a rivalry where they can't stand one another. Everyone was coming together last night. K Brock writes in with a super chat. JETS, Jets. I need to attend one of these meetups eventually. Hell yeah. Every time we do a meetup, it gets better and better. Steven was in the house last night. He says, great time last night, Jake. Meeting everybody was awesome. Such great fans. We deserve. Yes. Duncan, who was there last night, he says, I've seen you in the chat was a common phrase. That and people introducing themselves to me as their YouTube channel name was great. Love seeing that. Let's get back to your calls. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us right now is a member of the 4% female demographic. Although last night we had so many females in the house, I would say we're pushing closer to 5 at this point. Jay Graves is up next. What's up, Jay Graves?
Hey, Jake. I made it back to Jersey alive in one piece. Rolled in about midnight last night. Awesome time.
I love it. I'm glad you made it out.
Anybody come from Jersey and take the bus? I parked at one of our local parking rides, about an hour and a half, hour 45 minutes, and then the Port whatever is a straight shot down 42nd to T Square. So it's a super easy walk. And then shout out to Bonesy for letting me in his store last night. I got there a little extra early because with the buses, you never know. So I got to catch the Marilyn Monroe live with all the guys there. So that was super fun. Everybody was super welcoming. T Square was awesome. The bathrooms were clean, like Carly said.
Yeah, she was licking the floor. It was so weird. I'm like, why are you licking a floor? It's fine.
The simulator was bullshit. I had way more goals than that simulator let me have. And even throwing it over, the football one, you had to aim a little bit high. It was stupid. I'm better than that simulator said. But yeah, it was fun to meet everybody. Great time. Like I was telling you, seeing your name next to the Jets game like that was fucking wild. Sorry, that was effing wild.
No, you're good.
So I'm super happy for you. Like you said, like that's like crazy, and that's happening. Enjoy meeting Carly. Yep, having Carly bring her girls over to me. Get a little bit of Carly's history. I had interaction with James, real good dude. I see you, James. But yeah, overall, yeah. Well, he did a little. Because I'm little. Everybody's met me. I'm 5 feet tall, so he did a little around my back and kind of pulled me in a few times. I got a little, yeah. Didn't get kisses like Carly, but I got the little, pulled me in close. But yeah, it was an awesome time. I'm super bummed that I'm not going to make it out for the first home opener or the season opener because my girlfriend is a Niners fan, so we'll be watching it together with her. But I'm going to stop in and say hi, and yeah, it was a great time, Jake.
Jay Graves, great to see you last night. Thanks so much for coming.
No problem, anytime. Have a good one, guys.
Jay Graves checking in. Love it. Great call from her. Wild. Bethpage Chris, who was in the house last night, he says, thanks for a great time getting alive. He's going to die from Dre. Was awesome. Look forward to the next one. Yeah, that was classic. I just ran up to Dre and I was like, is Brock Purdy going to run for his life in the opener? And Dre yelled, he's going to die. And oh, what a crowd pop we got for that. Tremendous. Hit the like button. 467 of you are in here. Let's get the likes up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. We talk Jets every day. Programming note I want to share. We will be joined by friend of the show and author of the new Aaron Rodgers book, Ian O'Connor, on Tuesday. The book actually comes out on Tuesday for the general public. Ian is doing our show Tuesday morning to talk about the book he wrote on Rodgers. He sent me a copy last week. I've been reading it. It is excellent. So I'm excited to bring Ian on and talk to you guys about it. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us right now is the director of our merch store, with a special guest as well. Carly's in the house. Hello, Carly.
Hello. Ace, show over to your bandana.
Ace.
Ace, look at the camera.
Ace looks like a real model.
He's really mad because my dad just went to the supermarket, so he's like hysterically crying over it. But anyway, I hope everybody had fun last night. Sorry I look like this. Wow.
Did you have fun?
I had a great time. My voice is gone.
Were you chanting too much about the Jets?
I was Jets chanting so much. Look at that bandana. It's so cute.
Ace. Turn around, Ace.
He just snorted.
I wonder where he learned that from.
Looking for his father. But yeah, I had such a good time meeting everybody. All my friends loved meeting everyone too. So I was glad I got to fuse the internet friends and the real life friends.
That's right.
It was great.
What was your favorite interaction?
Oh my gosh. I had so many. It was great. I really loved meeting everyone. My favorite part of the whole night was Marilyn Monroe. I haven't stopped laughing. Every time I think about it, I'm like a maniac laughing to myself.
It was pretty wild.
It was unreal. When she was like, Bonesy was like, "Who sent you?" And she's like, Mr. Rat Diddy. I lost it. It was unreal.
Yeah.
And I beat Tom Ace at hockey. So.
Yeah, but Tom Ace was the real winner last night because he got the Garrett Wilson signed football.
I said I couldn't have handpicked a better winner for that.
You didn't handpick it.
I didn't. I'm saying like if I could have picked who I wanted to win, it would have been Tom Ace.
Tom Ace. I mean, Tom Ace being as beloved as he is, without ever once calling any of the Jet YouTube shows, is incredible.
Tom Ace is like upper echelon of Jets fans.
It's true. How many gangrene tee shots did you have last night?
Oh my god, I think like 4. It's a lot for me.
I think you had more than 4. I at least had 4 with you.
No, I only had 3. No, I had 2 with you.
No, because there was the one at the end too.
Oh shoot, the one at the end. Yeah. Then maybe it was 5. Scary. But yeah, and I hope everybody enjoyed the cookies.
Did you tell everyone what the secret ingredient was?
Love.
Crack.
Don't spread that rumor. It's not true.
It's true. I mean, that's what makes them taste so good and what keeps them so addicting.
Of course. Well, I had a great time. I hope everybody else did as well. And I had 1 chicken nugget last night afterwards.
I watched it.
Yes, you did.
Great moment.
Not 74. Look at the bandana.
Ace. Bring Ace to the next one.
Okay. He'll come.
All right. Well done.
Thanks for having me.
Well, great job. Carly was awesome helping set up beforehand, so thank you.
I didn't do anything. It was all you.
Yeah. Well, great job. Thank you very much.
Of course. Thank you.
All right. Say goodbye to Ace for us.
Ace, say bye-bye.
Bye, Ace.
Ace, say bye. There you go.
All right. Thank you very much.
Can you take me off of this?
Goodbye. More calls right now. Ladies and gentlemen, another member of the Asmaniac community who was in the house last night is Rob, the Jet fan from Glen Head. Rob, you look very hungover. What's going on?
I'm very hungover. I think I drank all of T Square yesterday, Jake. Holy
you did.
crap.
I saw you buying drinks for many listeners yesterday, which was awesome.
I don't even remember how many people I bought drinks for. All I remember is my bill was like a couple $100.
You're the reason why T Squared wants to do more business with me for future events. So thank you.
That's okay. It's all good. I had a ball. It was so much fun. I mean, great meeting Carly. Great meeting your brother is a pisser. He's such a nice guy, Zach. JJ. I was shocked that JJ came in at the end. Shocked.
But he knew when to come in. He knew he'd get a big crowd pop towards the end when he showed up.
He's a good dude. And then, of course, V-Man. V-Man was just a little bit timid on the side there. I made it a point of hanging out with him, actually. I went over there and I, ate my food. And, yeah, I just felt bad because he seemed like a little bit overwhelmed when he first walked in. So I made it a point of just spending a few minutes with him. Of course, Nick Shine. Little story. I got to throw an apology to Nick Shine. Nick, if you're listening, I apologize because, Nick doesn't drink. And I guess I drank a little too much and I was kind of pushing for him to drink, and that was wrong of me. My apologies, Nick. But had a wonderful time, Jake. Thanks for including me. It was really, really, really good. Definitely falling asleep on the train. I'll tell you a cute story. I fell asleep on the train. I guess I passed out. Thanks for Dre walking me to Penn Station, or else I would have been walking around in circles probably. So shout out to Dre. But anyway, so I get to the train. They pour me into the train, and I fall asleep. And all of a sudden, I don't know, I heard Port Washington, and I get up and I make like a beeline to the door. And the guy's like, "Are you okay? You okay?" Somebody says to me, "Are you okay?" I go, "I got to get out, Port Washington." He goes, "No." He goes, "We're in Flushing." He goes, "Don't get out." He was like, I didn't even realize.
Oh my God.
Because all I heard, Jake, was, you know how they go through all the stops and the last stop being Port Washington? And I just heard Port Washington. I thought, well, let me get out. I would have got out in Flushing. So thank God I didn't. But other than that, I had a wonderful time. Shout out to your dad. He's a good, good man. And can't wait for the next event, buddy. Can't wait. But now I'm just going to fucking recover.
Rob, great job last night, man. Great having you. I think everyone who got a drink from you appreciated your presence as well. Love it. Duncan says, saw a bunch of Asmaniacs at Penn Station. I mean, to think about it for a moment, to have 200 plus people show up for a preseason game is insane. All right. There are radio stations who do events that can't get 50 people to show up to anything. We had 200 plus people show up for a preseason game. The listeners of the show are the greatest. Nicholas says, I hope to get to one of these meetups soon. Nicholas, I hope you do. Jay Grape says, love this community. Everyone was so welcoming and friendly. Love that. It was great. It really was. Bethpage Chris, thanks for a great time. Oh, I already read this one. Getting the live, he's going to die. Edward says, I was wearing the throwback Titans Chad jersey. Love it, Edward. Thanks for coming out. Great to see so many of you. More calls right now. This guy was in the house last night. Bill checks in. Hello, Bill.
Hello. Ooh, let's see. There we go. Hello.
Hey,
How
there you
are
go.
you, bud?
By the way, let me say this. For everyone who took pictures last night, post it on Twitter, Instagram, tag at Jake Asman Show, so I could reshare it. And I want to make a giant post with some of the best photos from the event. I've been posting some videos on stories at Jake Asman Show. Also, why don't we do this? We'll do a giveaway right now. Follow me on Twitter at Jake Asman and Instagram at Jake Asman. And I'll add your name to a list, and we'll send someone any item in the merch store of their choice, just so I could continue growing the brand there, and we'll share some photos from behind the scenes. But, Bill, great to meet you last night, man. It was awesome.
That was one fun party, and Rob is a beast. I'm telling you, the man is definitely a chick magnet. There were several young ladies who came to the watch party, and they were around Rob, or Rob was around them. I'm not sure which, but definitely a chick magnet. It was a great time. If you're doing another one, that would be fantastic. Count me in. I'll see if I can even bring my son if he wants to come. He's not exactly a football fan. He's more of a Yankees fan, while I'm a Mets fan. I was wondering how much of Martinez's performance yesterday was the fact that it seemed like the running game, although it was okay, I thought it was much better that first game than it was the second. It seemed like Martinez had a lot less time to throw the ball than he did in the first game. I guess one can review the film to see if that's correct or not. I still think he's not a bad potential third string for the team, and hopefully he can make some solid contributions to the team until we finally get Jordan in there too. Overall, the Jets game was just okay. The performance was not great. I'm sure that the coaching staff is going to look at the film and clean some things up. Definitely Coons didn't look as good as he should have. I'm pretty sure there were a couple other players who had lackluster performances, and their days may be numbered on the roster. Uh, but it's again a positive thing. We ended up winning. I know it's preseason, but the coaching staff, I believe their thing is let's start winning now, and then carry it on into the regular season. And I'm all for that mindset. I think that's good. Just win.
Yeah, I'm with you, Bill. Great call. It's never bad to win. Now, as far as the quarterbacks go, I mean, this is why I wasn't going crazy over Peasley or Martinez last week. You know, one of them will be on the practice squad. One of them will be cut, is what it is. If either of them ever has to play for a game in a game this year, we got major problems. You know, but of the once again, I led the show with this for those tuning in. If you want full breakdowns, to me, of the players who will actually have a real role on this team this year, I thought Olu looked good at right tackle in his debut there in game action. He's your plug-and-play tackle, either at left or right, if there's an injury to the starters. And McDonald doing what he did is a good sign. Having a sack with that spin move, that will play against real NFL players. He will have a role as a pass rusher in situational scenarios this year. And the Jets should have plenty of those scenarios. They're playing with more leads, trying to close out games. Blitz BK was in the house last night. He says, Rob is a good dude. Pleasure to meet you. Dan checks in with a super chat. He's been an Asmaniac for 5 months. Can we get some more channel members? Let's make it rain for the community. 2 have only been added. Sorry I missed it, Jake. Looked like a blast. Was going to try to come. My 10-month-old son got really sick. He's still recovering. Great job, though. Dan, I'm sorry to hear about your son. Hopefully he gets better soon. You'll be at the next one, Dan. Don't worry. We have more to come. As Purple Belt Mike says, we'll have 400 for a regular season game. Niners week 1. Get ready. Get ready. Mr. Bonesy says, what a community we have here. Bonesy, I don't think anyone knows about this community more than you, where you had a listener who lives in Arizona, the great Rat Diddy, spend hard-earned cash to do this for your 40th birthday.
I will sing that song for you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Mr. President Bonesy. Happy birthday to you.
Yeah. What a moment at Alden Shoe Store. A moment we'll never forget. Prestige says, Jake, did you see Daniel Jones got himself yesterday on TV? Dude, Daniel Jones looked rough. I mean, let's call it for what it is. I mean, those interceptions were brutal. That's why it's like the Giants are kind of just stuck. Their roster, I think, is better than it was a year ago, but their quarterback situation is going to limit their ceiling to, best case, I think, 8 wins. I think they're probably around a 6 or a 7 win team. Maybe a little worse. JT says, that was before the event yesterday. Yeah, so at 5:30, people gathered at Bone G Shoe Store, which is a 2-minute walk from where T-Squared Social is. And Rat Diddy spent money for Maryland to show up and JFK style wish Bonesy a happy birthday. Incredible. Nate writes in, at T-Squared, a 10 spot of green T-spots was the equivalent of a 10 spot of memberships. It was something, man. More of your calls right now. Ladies and gentlemen, Connor Long is up next. Hello, Connor.
Hey, Jake, how you doing?
I'm good, Connor. How are you?
Good. Unfortunately, I was unable to attend the event last night, but it looked like everyone had a great time. I'll tell you, from home watching the game, it was actually a pretty boring game. Every single point the Jets scored was on field goals. Obviously, we saw Kuntz drop that touchdown pass that, God, it's a guy like Kuntz. I mean, that's exactly what you want not to happen. I mean, he's a guy who needs to be capitalizing on every single opportunity if he wants to make this roster. At least, like, there's a difference between like not necessarily standing out and then also hurting the team. For example, there he hurt the team, did not just not stand out. So yeah, that was definitely a bad blow for the Jets there. However, I thought Codrington looked really good. I've been high on him from the get go. Really, I think honestly, like with these new kickoff rules, with the two players having to be required back in the quote landing zone, if Codrington shows more play like this throughout the Jets joint practice with the Giants, more training camp practices, and obviously the final preseason game, I definitely think he has a shot to make this roster. Obviously, you mentioned Irv Charles there earlier in the show. He got to the punter on that one. Somehow Hecker still got off that punt. He did go down with an injury though. But you said you'd rather take Codrington over Irv Charles?
If we're talking about someone who has done more this summer, I think Codrington has staked a case to it. I don't know if Herb Charles is as big of a lock as people make it. Like I personally don't see it with Herb Charles. I don't think he's just like he's so good on special teams that we got to use a roster spot on him personally.
Yeah, here's the thing. I think the Jets could find like, don't get me wrong, Irv Charles is a very solid gunner, but Isaiah Oliver has experience playing there, and he's going to make the team anyways.
I think Stiggers could do it too.
That Stiggers could definitely do it. And speaking with Stiggers, I mean, yeah, he's looked like great throughout every practice, blah blah blah. But I mean, last game I thought literally he was probably the best player on the field on that defense. I mean, you look up every single play, he's in the backfield tackling players. He's forcing incompletions. And into going to the running back room, I thought Izzy looked fine again. I thought Isaiah Davis looked the best out of Allen, Izzy, Valladay, and yeah, that's it. I was thinking Brees, but he didn't play. So yeah, I mean, honestly, I know that a lot of Jet fans are really high on Allen, but what Davis has shown, I think Allen's a lock for RB2, but I definitely would expect an increased role from Davis in 2024, just from what we've seen from him.
Isaiah Davis has looked really good. He has. He, to me, is going to have some sort of role on this team. I don't think that he's going to play a ton, but it's nice to know if there's an injury to the first two guys, you don't feel like there's an automatic we're screwed feeling. Like I think Davis has looked the part. I think they have a really good running back room. I think we've learned that this summer with the two guys they've drafted.
Yeah, and you don't think the Jets will carry 4 running backs? You don't think Izzy is going to make the roster?
I'm going to do a roster projection later this week. Kind of get a feel. If I was making a pick now, I probably would say no, but I'm not sure.
All right, thank you. I appreciate it, and hope to make it out to week 1.
Well, Connor, we'll make sure that at our next watch party, all right, on the drink menu here, we have the Connor Long, which, I mean, should we have milk? Should we have apple juice, cranberry juice? What is your go-to drink?
Funny enough, Jake, the only thing I actually drink is water. Water. That is all I drink. I do not
the
drink
Nick Shine. Okay.
Yeah. Exactly.
Connor, you're the best. And I want you to know
Thank
that when I met Rich Eisen the other day, or I met him before, but when I saw him the other day at Fanatics Fest, we talked about you. And I told him Newsday, CBS Channel 2, doing big time stories on Connor Long after his viral call on your show.
I appreciate it, Jake. Really appreciate it. Hope you had a great time at the Fan Fest.
Carly says apple juice with a bendy straw. Does that work for you, Connor?
Sure. Throw anything out there.
Connor Long, baby. Great job, Connor. Folks, it has finally happened. And it took Nick Shine to make it happen. For really a month, I would say, Jay Quest has been unable to get a channel membership. He claims he has gift receipts turned on. He claims that he has liked every video. He has subscribed to the channel. He has commented after the video to try and boost the algorithm for his chances of receiving a channel membership. We ran a contest on the show that anyone who gifts Jay Quest a membership will get an item in the merch store. And folks, proud NYJ fan, the great Nick Shine is the person who finally has made it happen. ladies and gentlemen, I am proud to share with the Asmaniac community that J-Quest is now an Asmaniac. The name J-Quest changed his YouTube handle to is Bobby's Left Nut. I kid you not. So, J-Quest is now a member. Nick Shine is getting free merch. And we say hello once again to Nick Shine. Nicholas, you did it.
Dude, he was on my show Thursday and he was teasing Bobby. He said he changed his name from J-Quest the day before. Like he took an exclamation point out. And then during the show, he changed it to Bobby's Left Nut. He's locked into that name for 14 days. You can't change your name. And we were joking saying, this is what will do it. This is what will get you the membership. So congratulations to Bobby's Left Nut for making this happen. Don't thank me. Don't thank Jake Quest. We have to thank Bobby's Left Nut. That's where all the power lies, Jake.
Ladies and gentlemen, Bobby's Left Nut, everybody.
Bobby's Left Nut. Bobby's Left Nut.
That's incredible. Well, Nick, we do have very large sizes on the merch store. So
fat jokes. We're doing fat jokes on the Lord's Day on Sunday morning.
You're a big man. You're a former football player. I mean, look at you. Very loud wooing from Carly there. You
and Aaron Rodgers have a lot in common. Yeah, you wear the same hat. You met each other, and you're both protected by two of the greatest forces on earth. Tyron Smith for Rodgers, and my shoulders for you, brother.
I love it. I love it. Well, you finally did it, and I am thrilled that we're going to be sending you something in the store. You got to tell me what you want. You want a hat? You want a hoodie? You want a T-shirt? I mean, this is a monumental moment.
I want the underwear with Bobby on it. I think Jay Quest Bobby's Left Nut made this happen.
Something custom.
Need a special pair of Bobby underwear. We got to make a new item.
Well, I will get your information and we will work on that for you.
We'll talk off air, man. Glad it happened, Jay Quest. Be good,
ladies and gentlemen. Nick Shine. What a moment in time. Wow. Nick Shine's having a day, folks. All right. Last 24 hours for Nick Shine. He's on this show. He's singing to Bonesy. So He's on Bonesy, and then I'm on his shoulders, and now he's gifting a membership to J-Quest. Who's got it better than Nick Shine right now? Ladies and gentlemen, when this guy entered the building last night, electricity was in the air. We say hello to JJ. Hello, JJ.
I think the electricity was in the air because some people wanted to electrocute me, but that's a story for a different day.
I thought it was great when you came in, JJ. I was seeing you, Dre, and Rob clear the air. All of you sit down and realize we're on the same team, right? We all want the Jets to win. It was a great moment.
I don't think I wanted to clear the air with Rob. I think I had to because he is massive. He came up to me and I didn't recognize him at first because his face looked familiar, but I was like, I couldn't put it. I was like, who? This guy looks familiar. And then he goes, I'm Rob from Glenhead. And I'm like, oh, shit. This guy's like 6'3", 270 pounds, solid. And then he got a hold of me. I gave him a handshake, and he pulled me in for a hug. And I was like, all right, yeah, I'm not going nowhere. I said, you know what, Rob? Everything you said in the past is 100% correct. Meeting Dre was awesome, too. Dre, me and Dre were having a good conversation, and then he lost me. We're talking, everything was good, and then he goes, yeah, I'm telling you right now, Garrett Wilson is catching 28 touchdowns this year. And I was like, you mean Aaron Rodgers is going to throw 28 touchdowns? And he's like, no, I mean Garrett Wilson is going to break the touchdown record by 5. It's 23 touchdowns. Garrett Wilson is getting 28. I said, you know what, Dre? You know what? From your lips to God's ears. I don't know. We'll see. And then the highlight for me was I was talking to this guy. I was talking to this kid. Well, kid, whatever. And he's like, oh, do you watch the Jake Asman show? And I'm like, yeah, that's why I'm here. He's like, oh, I'm Jake's brother. And I was like, oh, shoot. How long have you guys been brothers for? And he looked at me and he was so confused. And he goes, 26 years? I was like, no, it was a joke, man. That wasn't a serious question. I saw V-Man. V-Man did not give me the time of day. I got 2 pictures with him, but I went over there and I was like, hey, V-Man. And he was just like, hey. Yeah, he was like, just like, hey. He was just off to the corner doing his own thing. So that was pretty cool. V-Man is a rock star, though. I was like super excited to meet him. I was surprised Carly knew who I was. I know she watches the show a lot, but I was like, oh, shoot, Carly knows.
Everyone knows who you are.
Yeah, but it's still like, I'm just a fan at the end of the day. So when people recognize me, it's like a lot of people recognize me. I was like shocked. I was like, oh shoot, like everybody pretty much knows who I am, and everybody came up to me and was like, I hate your takes, but you're very entertaining. And I was like, well, that's what it's all about at the end of the day. It's all.
No, your takes stink, but you're a good guy. And here was my JJ story. So there was like a family of like 3 next to the reserved like bay that we had for the simulators for everyone to use. And when you walked in and everyone went crazy and people wanted to like take pictures with you and stuff, these people came up to me and they go like, who is that guy? Like, is he famous? Like, did he like play for the Jets or something? Like, why is everyone like going up to him asking for pictures? And I kid you not, without hesitation, I go, oh, he's famous. He's one of the most recognizable Jake Asman show callers we've ever seen. And they were like, oh, okay.
You should have led with it. He's one of the most negative people I've ever seen in my life. I think that's my 3rd or 4th time meeting you in person too, as well. So I'm like, wow, me and Jake we're creating a bond here. But I do have to end on the negativity because I'm sorry, that's just who I am. But
are we firing Salah? What are we doing this morning?
No, we're not firing him. But I don't know who it was. Somebody just called in, or somebody sent a super chat, and they were like, the preseason is just as much for the coaches as it is for the players. And when we're not going for it on 4th and 1 in the 3rd, 4th quarter of a game, that means absolutely nothing. Like Salah being 9-2-1 in the preseason is actually kind of alarming because that means he just goes out there and plays conservative. Anybody can coach a preseason game and win a preseason game. I think.
How? There's no rhyme or reason to it. The Detroit Lions were 4-0 in the preseason the year they went 0-16. Like, it doesn't mean anything.
Yeah. No, but it does mean something because I'll tell you why. Because what did the Detroit Lions do in the preseason? I didn't watch all their preseason games. I didn't watch any of them, but I can almost guarantee the way that coach coaches in Detroit, he wasn't as conservative as Salah is, kicking a field goal every single time. Like, I'm sure they took chances, put players out there, and saw what they can do. When I'm watching these preseason games and Salah's coaching, I feel like he's coaching it as if it's like a do or die. We must win this game. Ultra conservative. Like, it's just weird. Like, loosen up a little bit. It's the preseason. He's on the sideline and he was smiling this game. But usually when we watch him during the preseason games, he's just so conservative, not taking any chances, not trying to get better, not trying to see like what things work. He's just conservative. And then when you go into the regular season like that, he carries that same conservative mindset. And you can't, like, this is a new NFL. You can't be that conservative in today's game. Like, you have to take chances. You have to go for it. We did go for it like twice in the beginning of the game, and we were 1-1, I think, or 1-2. We went for it once.
It just doesn't mean anything. I'm not going to sit here and and make anything of it. They won, great. The quarterback play wasn't great. That's probably why he wasn't going for it, because he didn't have a whole lot of faith in what he was seeing. But it doesn't matter.
But I mean, if it's 4th and 2, 4th and 1, you got Israel Abanikana, who's been running hard. Who's at that point been running hard. I mean, or you got this exciting guy Martinez. You all were with me. We wanted to see give Martinez one more play in the red zone. He threw 2 passes that got dropped that would have been touchdowns. Give him one more. Like, let's see what he can do. It doesn't matter if we win the game at the end of the day.
I would have went for it, but I don't think it has any impact whatsoever. They're going to go for it in the regular season because you have Aaron Rodgers and Breece Hall in making those decisions. Like, that's the difference.
Yeah, I'm just tired of seeing field goals all the time. I'm tired of it.
I know.
We don't score touchdowns. We're right there. We drop 2 passes in the red zone. Give them
just wait for the games to count, and you'll see touchdowns. I promise.
Speaking of which, I don't know if I'm going to be able to come to week 1 at T Squared. It was live in there. It was great environment. Like, it was so much fun. And I don't want to bring my negativity when we start doing some stupid shit. Sorry for cursing, but I was having such a good time in there. Me and my friends, I came with a group of guys. We were over there playing soccer. They had like a soccer simulator, and then they also had like a football simulator, which was terrible. It made no sense. You throw it at guys, it was terrible. But anyways, it was like there's so much to do. There's a bowling alley in there. It was a great event. I'm glad I came. it was the best part of it is I live in Jersey, but I live close to Jersey, so it was like just right over the water for me, right in Midtown Manhattan. So great event. Whoever didn't go there, I'm glad that BMAC wasn't there though. I do have to end on this. I can get along with any Jets fan, Dre, Rob, Neil, Bonesy, and I talk. I can never get along with BMAC because BMAC's not a Jets fan. So I'll end on that.
B-Mac, look at my TV. B-Mac, I love Aaron Rodgers. Jets, go Jets.
B-Mac. B-Mac? B-Mac, you there?
I'm here.
Would you like to respond to JJ? JJ cowered out. He left before I could put you two on the screen together.
Oh, what did he say? I wasn't here, so what did he say?
JJ, call back in, please. He basically ripped you, says that he wouldn't want you to be at any of my events if he went to one.
Oh, no, I wasn't planning on responding to JJ. I'll get into a fight with JJ today. But you know what? I'm going to say this, and then I got a question for you, Jake. And this is not a JJ answer, but I'm going to respond to JJ real quick. JJ, do you really think I care about not coming to your stupid invite or whatever? Do you think that will hurt my feelings, really? Because you know what, JJ, the world will be a better place, JJ, if you did not exist. All right, if you were gone, JJ, no one would have cared. All right, no one would have said that kill. You know what I mean? So I don't care if you don't invite me to a stupid party you hosting, whatever party. You know what I mean? I would bet JJ people like one person would have come to whatever you said you're not gonna invite me to.
So I was talking to Dre yesterday, and I was like, Dre, where's B-Mac? And Dre goes, yo, I don't know where the hell that guy lives. Like, I don't know where he's from. I think he lives in like Antarctica or some shit. And I was like, Dre, you understand that he's not a Jets fan. He's not. He wears a Jets hat, and Dre was defending you. Dre says, yo, but you know, he wears that Jets hat because Jake got it for him. And I said, who cares? He's a Packers fan. Why does he keep coming on this show trying to tell us who's real Jets fans and not real Jets fans? And he's a Packers fan. If Aaron Rodgers wasn't on the team, you wouldn't even care. So I like you crack me up, B-Mac. You're delightful.
Let me respond to you. First of all, JJ, you're right. If Aaron Rodgers wasn't on the team, I wouldn't have been as tuned in as I am. But you know what? The more I start calling in, the more I start getting engaged with the team. It's just not only have to do with Rodgers. It has to do with like Jet fans, like Rob, like Dre, like Jake. Like
all right, can I just ask a question though? Where do you live? What state do you live in?
It's not your damn business. Where do you live?
Why won't he answer the question? What state do you live in?
You don't deserve to know where he lives.
I live in Massachusetts. Massachusetts, yes.
So you live in Massachusetts, but you're a Packers fan, but you're also a Yankees fan, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
But you live in Massachusetts.
Yes, I do. I live in Massachusetts.
Okay. So you're just confused about life.
JJ, hold on. Let me do this, JJ. You know, all joking aside, because really we doing this just to have fun. You know what I mean? I don't got nothing personal against you, and I bet you don't have nothing personal against me. But
no, I think he can't stand you, B-Mac. Don't let him off easy.
All joking aside, you know what? I still love you, JJ. I still respect you as a person. You know, if you met in real life, I would love to sit down with you and have a talk, have a chat. Have a drink. And get to know each other. Because deep down, I am I am a respectful human being, and I like everybody. You know what I mean? I'm a people person. You know what I mean? I just love people.
B-Mac's a lover, not a fighter. JJ.
Okay.
That's what
well, I don't want anybody in the chat to get confused. Okay, like 2 months ago, I invited B-Mac to to one of the Jets games. I don't even remember which one. I told him, "Hey, B-Mac, come sit next to me," and he was like, I don't want to sit next to you, JJ. I'll never sit next to you." So this whole I'm a lover, blah blah blah. I tried to extend the olive branch, and I got shut down hard. So B-Mac, one day me and you will go to a game together. We'll watch Aaron Rodgers together, and we'll have a beer. But I want everyone to know that I initiated being nice to B-Mac, and he turned me down, and that's why I still hold the grudge.
Well, JJ, hold on. Well, hold on. Okay, I gotta say this. You know Jerome the Packer fan, right?
Say that again?
JJ. Jerome the Packer fan.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you. Say it one more time.
Jerome the Packer fan.
Oh,
you know
yeah,
him,
Dre,
right?
Dre mentioned him to me too. He said there's a guy who calls in called Jerome the Packers fan, and to be honest with you, I've never heard of the guy. So I guess I always
get out of
mention
here. You've never heard of the guy. He calls the show all the time. This is over.
B-Mac, hey you hater guy, Allen sucks and JJ can kiss my ass before I wipe.
We got to calm down now. All right, we got to cool off a little bit. Amazing. Nate, Nate, with a super chat. This is him yelling at JJ for his call before the BMAC thing went down. JJ, they went for on a 4th and 1 and didn't get it. You'd be calling in about how dumb of a coaching decision that it was. It doesn't matter. It's preseason. It doesn't matter. We'll judge Robert Saleh and company on the decisions they make when the games count. They won the game, for those keeping track. They didn't play any starter last night. Not one. Bobby with an 8-month super chat. An Asmaniac super chat, if you will. Bobby Midnight, call in. I want to hear how your stream went last night. Hi, Carly, my beautiful friend. I wanted to say hi to you and Ace, but I couldn't. Bobby Midnight, folks. This guy is relentless.
I like good-looking chicks in that family. Wow.
Bobby.
Oh, yeah, baby. Things are about to get crazy here on the Jake Asman Show.
Calm your freaky down.
Sometimes we try, but that freaky just take us over.
Give him some of your loving voice.
Oh, yeah, hide them kids.
Again, keep your damn freaky down.
Too sexy.
you gotta chill, man. Hit the like button if you're tuning in. We got 422 people watching right now. We're seeking more channel members. Nick Shine did it. He gifted JQuest his channel membership. The offer still stands, though. If you gift Lane Train a membership, you will receive an item of your choice in the jakeasman.com merch store. Nick Shine with a super chat. He says, JJ had the worst soccer kick I've ever seen last night. He even fell afterwards, and I had to help him up. Damn, JJ, is this true? We continue with your calls right now. Charlie's on the line. What's up, Charlie?
Hey, Jake. How's it going? It's been a
What's
little
up, Charlie?
while. Nothing much. I gotta make it pretty quick 'cause I'm at my next appointment. I gotta get out and work. But man, there's no show like the Jake Asman show. These clips that you come up with, the Bobby Midnight, calm your freaky down, is just hilarious. Man, I never really remember. I don't remember ever being as excited about preseason as the last 2 seasons that we've had with Aaron Rodgers. It's just, I'm growing so impatient for the season to start that literally the preseason is starting to feel like the regular season. I'm taking things a little more seriously and just pinpointing certain players that I'm, interested in watching and developing and stuff. The different training camp battles, but a few things on my mind is, why do we always play the Dolphins so late in the season lately? It's just ridiculous. I can't stand
why do they play him late? I mean, well, they played him early 2 years ago in October.
Yeah.
Week 5.
I guess the last 2 seasons. It's just listening to, I'm a regular listener of the AFC East Roundtable, and just listening to just Dolphin fans is just driving me crazy. Now we got to wait all this time just to get some kind of bragging rights over this team. I wanted to ask you a question, Jake. So, out of our rivals, who right now do you not like the most? Who do you dislike the most right now with Tom Brady and Bill Belichick out of the division?
I mean, I still want to smash the Patriots because I hate their fans. I hate everything. I hate Robert. I hate everything they stand for. Like, so to me, it's still New England, but I want to stick it to the Dolphin fan because they're so arrogant and they've done nothing. They have not won a playoff game since Bill Clinton was in office. I don't want to hear it. As bad as the Jets have been, at least when the Jets make the playoffs, which they haven't done since 2010, they still have 6 playoff wins since the last time Miami won a playoff game. So I just don't want to hear it.
Absolutely, and you have. I was listening earlier just because it makes me laugh. I was listening to TD Finn's live stream for the preseason game yesterday, and he literally went into this. I guess he recorded like a rap that he had, and it was like a 5-minute long rap after they threw a touchdown pass, and he's like, I know everyone's gonna tell me on the stream it's only preseason, it's only the Commanders, and it's like he's like, we're going it, we're doing it, Super Bowl, Super Bowl. Super Bowl. And he's like, I know everyone in the chat saying, you say that every year, TD. You say that every year, TD. And then he's like, but I know, and I'm going to just say, shut your mouth. Like, just something along those lines. But it's like, how about just win a playoff game first? Just win a playoff game. You're worrying about a Super Bowl. Win one. You haven't won one since the year, 2000? Well, that's the last time they won, right?
That's the last time they won a playoff game. Yeah, the 99 season. Yep.
It's insane. By the way, everyone, hold on. I got to show this. The first ever Jake Asman autographed memorabilia, baby.
I can't believe you had me sign that, man.
Let's go.
I'm happy to do it for you, but I still think you're nuts. But I appreciate the support.
But listen, Jake, you had somebody I think last week on the show say that they wanted you to sign your Asmaniac hat.
That I'd be happy to do.
It's still a signed hat at the end of the day, but it is your hat. It is your hat. And awesome show. I'm too bad I couldn't make it yesterday, but one thing. Did you ever see the show the Animaniacs when you were
I have not,
growing
no.
up? Okay, so look it up on YouTube. They have a song. I'm gonna try not to sing this because it's kind of weird, but they have a song. It was a show on Cartoon Network, and the song goes, "We are the Animaniacs," and literally when I went with the Asmaniac, I literally just had a thought to myself. You can literally change Animaniac to Asmaniacs. And it's so every once in a while it'll pop into my head and I'll start singing it while I'm working. Very odd. But you're not going to understand because you don't know the show. But if you look up on YouTube the Animaniacs song, Asmaniacs works perfectly with that. Just as like a funny parody.
Well, Charlie, I will look into it and I will send it to Gator if he thinks it's any good.
Oh, definitely send it to Gator, and we can make it Asmaniacs instead of Animaniacs.
Great call, Charlie. I appreciate you, man. We'll see you at the next event, hopefully. He brought up TD Finn's talk. Just remember, this is how TD actually feels about the Jets.
Dolphin fans, oh, you tripping. Brees Hall, right now, the best running and catching back outside of Christian McCaffrey in the league. The depth of the Jets O-line might be better than our whole O-line unit. Like, real talk. I'm sorry. It is what it is. I think we're going to sweep Buffalo this year. Maybe, and I sure hope so. But don't sweep Buffalo and replace it with getting swept by the Jets.
We coming for that ass, TD.
There is a fact that they're deeper than us on the O-line. Deeper than us at linebacker. It is a fact that they're deeper than us on the D-line. Better cornerback unit overall. Well, let's stop lying to ourselves. The Jets have a better roster than the Miami Dolphins. That's actually a fact, man. I don't have to sit here and be a homer and just tell you, oh, we're better. They got a better roster by far.
Mm-hmm. Karim is up next. What's up, Karim?
Hey, how you doing, Jake?
Karim, what's going on, man? It was great when you called in from Brazil last week.
Yeah. You're trouble, man. You were full of trouble. You know, my daughters, now they want me to put them on my shoulder and do the Jets chant. Every time you do something, I gotta do it.
That's awesome. Well, you got to do it. I mean, those are the rules.
Yeah. I'm gonna try to get out there to the social event, but I gotta get to Vegas first and put some bets down.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, I gotta try to make some money off of Aaron Rodgers. Hey, you know, some people like JJ, they like being controversial. They just like to be controversial, just to have conversation, to assume like they think they smart. You know, but I give him credit for one thing. I am not for Robert Saleh at all. I know we depending on Aaron Rodgers to save his career, but he just not New York Jets coach. He's just not. He don't have.
Don't we have to kind of see how this year plays out? He's never had a quarterback.
Yeah, that's the thing. We're dependent on Aaron Rodgers to save him.
Well, if he had Tyrod Taylor, he would have been saved. You know, like they won 7 games with the worst quarterback situation in football by far. By far.
I hear like a lot of guys, the players say how much they love him, they love him, they love him. He got to step up because he don't give the good takes in New York. You know, he didn't give a good take about Zach. He give us the best chance to win. That was horrible.
What's he supposed to say?
And that was the worst thing he could have ever said. And then
that's all he could say, though. And you know what? After watching Tim Boyle, he was right. Now he should have went to Simeon before Boyle, but like, you know, we're talking about Trevor Simeon here, right? I mean, 2 years ago, he made the quarterback change to Mike White. Mike White is significantly better than Zach Wilson. He got hurt. If he stayed healthy that year, I think they make the playoffs.
Well, let me ask you about that. Do you think if they would have gave Mike White the money they gave Tyrod Taylor, he would have stayed?
Well, I mean, I think Tyrod Taylor is a better player than Mike White.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, if he would have gave Mike White that money before he did all the guys from Green Bay and stuff.
I think when it comes back to that decision, that's on Joe Douglas, not Robert Saleh. They should have moved on from Zach Wilson and retained Mike White. And I said it in real time, so I don't feel like it's revisionist history when I've been on the record since March of 2023 that going into the season with Zach Wilson as the backup quarterback is a huge mistake, and it obviously was.
Yeah. Hey, we look pretty good. I like Braylon. I think Braylon is going to be a bomb. I think he's good.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think him and Isaiah Davis have both looked really good this summer. And Braylon Allen's going to have a much bigger role than I think any of us imagined early on he would.
Do you think JD is using those two guys to threaten Brees?
No, I don't think so. I think they want to have more versatility in that room. I mean, last year their running back situation outside of Brees was terrible. Dalvin Cook was washed. Michael Carter couldn't pass protect. Izzy really didn't show much. Like they just completely redid that room.
But if Braylon and Davis are really good, don't you think that they're going to give Brees trouble with his contract when it's time?
Maybe because of Brees' position, there could be some issues trying to figure out what the sweet spot is for a deal. But no, I mean, Brees is going to have a chance to win Offensive Player of the Year this year. They're gonna use Brees as much as they can. He's that special of a player.
Yeah. I'm going back to Brazil in 2 weeks.
Well, I'll tell you what, Kareem. You call us from Brazil again, all right?
Yeah, I'm going to call you from the beach this time.
I love it. Copacabana, right?
Yeah.
I love it. Kareem, great call, man. Appreciate you. We're international on this show, folks. Jake Klein is up next. What's up, Jake? Good to see you last night.
Yeah, man. I got good news to tell you. You drew a better crowd than the Fanatics after party, so that says a lot.
Where was the Fanatics after party?
It was at Legends. So Jake Brown was trying to get us upstairs, and he was like, dude, I don't understand how it's so dead here. Like, they literally made a whole scene about, like, do you have this bracelet? I'm like, dude, there's nobody here. Like, can't we just hang out with him? And you're like, no. So we just hung downstairs, and there was, like, a Hulk Hogan lookalike and, like, 3 dudes taking pictures. It was embarrassing. So
yeah, well, I'll tell you what. The Asmaniacs are greater than Fanatics Fest. I mean, Fanatics Fest doesn't have this drink menu, man. I mean, come on now.
Yeah, the guy gave us the green tea shot, whatever it was.
Yeah.
I don't know. First, we went from like him trying to make us pay for it. Then he was just like, "Oh, just give us a 5-star on the website." We're like, "Okay, whatever." So he just gave it to us for free. It was nice.
There you go. I'm glad you got hooked up with some free shots. I mean, we were supposed to have shots after touchdowns, but we got no touchdowns last night, so that was part of the problem.
I mean, who's our other kicker again? Like Zerline wasn't kicking all last night, correct?
Yeah, Austin Seibert kicked. He's going to be on some team this year.
Right, it was Austin Seibert. Yeah,
he's done a great job.
Yeah, I mean, listen, we don't talk about the kickers enough. Let's hope to God that that pans out because we're going to need them when it counts, especially. So
yeah, Morstead is great. Zerline's great. Retaining both those guys was huge. And
hold on, wait, was he there? I know it would be crazy. I said there was a guy there last night that looked just like Thomas Morstead. I was just like, why is he here right now? Like, I don't know. There was this guy like in a white shirt. He looked just like him.
It was not him, but
okay. I thought it was crazy. I was like, what is he doing here right now? I mean, like, I don't know. You can say like it's a preseason game. I don't need to be here, but anyway, I thought it was anyway. So, but yeah, listen, it was solid events. When's the next one?
Next one will be week 1 against the Niners. It's not finalized yet. I'm talking with T Squared this week to go over what happened yesterday and plan that watch party for week 1 if it all goes well. But I can tell you, to everyone who came out last night, thank you, because it's going to lead to bigger and better moving forward.
Yeah, solid outing last night, dude. I'm proud of you. It was real. I was very impressed last night, so keep it up.
Thank you, man. Great call, Jake. Thanks for coming out, man. Good to see you. It was great, man. It was awesome. I mean, T Squared was blown away. To have 200-something people for a preseason game is nuts. Once again, if you took pictures last night, please post them on social media so I can retweet it, tag it, spread the word, try and make these events bigger and better. Spread the word to your fellow Jet fans. This is the place to be. Awesome. I also want to give some love here to, we had his agent calling the other day. I thought Cole LaVale, I thought he looked pretty good last night. He played every snap. Braden McGregor, by the way, team high, 3 quarterback pressures. He made some plays. Maybe he's got an outside shot of making the team. Depends how many defensive linemen they keep. Leonard Taylor had that run stuff. So, second game in a row, he's made some plays. Not a whole lot of groundbreaking takeaways, but it was fun. I think the big takeaway last night is I got to meet V-Man and watch a game with him. I'm assuming V-Man is sleeping, and that's why he hasn't called in during the show. Nate says, Jake just swallowed that yawn like a pro. Nate, this is why they pay me the big bucks. You know. Tom A says, everyone wanted to be at the meetup, including Morstead. Look, I would welcome Thomas Morstead with open arms. He's a friend of the show, but we'll see. Man. All right, I'm going to go back to this guy for our last call. He says he needs to ask me a question. And to be fair, he didn't call in to fight with JJ, but the circumstances just kind of dictated that's what needed to be done.
B-Mac, look at my TV. B-Mac, I love Aaron Rodgers. Jets, go Jets.
Hey, Jake. Yeah, my intention was not to call to fight with JJ, but JJ had to open it down, so I be in that position. But I do want to ask you something real quick. I've been seeing this with some Jet fans, and a guy said this on his show on Jet Nation. His name's Glenn. He said and again, I know you probably want to talk about it, but he said that it was Rodgers' fault that the injury happened because he missed Gary Wilson wide open on a slant.
Who said this?
That's Glenn. He's a Jet fan.
Glenn Naughton. I mean,
yeah.
I think if Rodgers could do that play over, he would just throw it to Garrett. Yeah, but the idea that he wouldn't have eventually had the same injury on a different play. I mean, that Achilles was going to snap at some point.
Yeah. So I think it's fair to say the play was his fault, but to say the injury was his fault, I just think that's unfair. It was a freak thing. It just happened. But that's what I want to call about. And
yeah, look, I mean, it is what it is. Yep. The pain happened. We move forward finally. That's how you got to look at it. We went through hell and back last year, and we're on the precipice of hopefully righting that wrong with a great season. Anytime I did a shot last night, I said the following: Super Bowl champs. That's the goal. And this team has a chance to do it. Certainly, regular season goal is AFC East champions and go on a run. Cactus Johnny says, what happened to Scott in Saratoga? Is he in jail? He might be. He hasn't called in a while. He might be. I have an exciting announcement for the people that are still watching the show live. If you're a channel member, Best of the Jake Asman Show, episode 6 will debut tonight on the channel, exclusively for channel members. Get ready. I was about to end the show, and then I saw that an absolute legend called in. In fact, one of the great moments of the meetup last night at T Squared Social in New York City was when we had a live rendition of me asking the crowd if Brock Purdy was going to run for his life in the opener, to which this guy responded live and said, "He's going to die." And Dre joins us now. Hello, Dre.
Hello, Jake. Hey, I'm sorry. I literally just woke up like half an hour ago. Oh, I had the literal best time with you guys last night. That superseded every expectation, and I just had a great time. Shout out to JJ. Meeting him was so crazy. It was just so funny to me. Like, all of a sudden, he seemed very, very calm, very, hey, hi, how's everybody? I was like, oh, you seem nice for somebody who's always so negative. But that was a question that he brought up, but I didn't know where B-Mac lived. But then we got the answer because we started asking around, and I did give him back the answer. I was like, oh, yeah, B-Mac lives southwest Massachusetts somewhere, things like that. But it was just funny. I can't believe that JJ doesn't know who Jerome the Packer fan is. JJ needs to pay better attention. Jerome the Packer fan is somebody that will change your life. Oh my God, what a great event! Had a great time. The wrap up was fantastic. I went over to I took Rob to the train station to get him home.
And he called in earlier, Dre. I don't know if you saw it.
He did. Okay, no, I'm gonna go back and watch the whole thing. Like I literally. And I woke up and I was like, oh my God, did I miss my bus? My bus is in an hour and a half. So I'm still like rushing. I still got to move. So I make my bus get home. But the best part was I got Rob home last night to the train. And so I was like, no, Rob, we're going to go this way. And I took him down to the train, and the walk over there, we talking, me and him were just vibing. By the time I got there, my back was on fire. And I was like, okay, I'm going to go back and meet everybody that they all went to the after party spot. But then I just couldn't do it. I was like, no, I'm closer to home than I am to that spot. I'm just going to go home because I'm done. I'm spent. But I had a fantastic time. Loves meeting V-Man, everybody there. I'm going to touch base with you offline about some of the other things we were talking about. Yep. I'm super excited about my keychain.
Yeah, baby. We gave out some Asmaniac swag last night.
Yeah. Oh, my God. It was so good. And I was so happy to meet Tom Ace and saw that he won the football. That was like one of the biggest highlights of the night. I actually can't remember much about the game because I was so busy interacting with everybody else. And then we have our moments and we started all screaming and carrying on and acting a fool. And it was just a fantastic night. I can't wait for week one. I can't wait for week one. I'll be back. I'll be here for week one for sure.
Week one is going to be crazy because like last night was perfect because it was like, it's preseason. So you don't need to be locked into every play. It's a social event. We get to week one. I'm telling everyone to get there an hour early. Say your hellos, get your drinks, get your food in, right? Once that game starts, I am locked in, man. I am
focused. We all have a job to do. Stay focused.
That's it. That would be. You come up to me when there's an actual game going on. I am in one ear, out the other. I will not hear a word you're saying. I'm going to be locked in.
I'm the same way. I got you. I feel you. It's going to be a lot of fun. Jake, thank you so much for putting on this event. Fantastic. I've had a fantastic night. It was just great. I love seeing my you guys are like my extended family. Rob, and then I bumped into my my college friend that I told you about, Angel. Shout out to Angel. If you're watching, you better start calling in, bro. It's gonna be awesome. This is gonna be a year. It's gonna be fantastic.
Dre, you were a big star last night, man. Thanks for coming out. It's always awesome.
Of course, my pleasure. My pleasure. I'll see you the next time.
Dre checking in. Dre was great last night, man. Crowd going crazy for Dre. 28 touchdown island, baby. They showed Garrett Wilson doing the interview, and everyone was like, Dre. That's how great this fan base is. When Aaron's being interviewed and when Garrett was being interviewed, we had Aaron Rodgers chants and Garrett Wilson. There was nothing else to cheer for in this game last night. We got 4 field goals. Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers. Oh, man. Nick Shine with a great question here. Did Bobby call in today? Did I miss it? So Bobby has not called in. I suspect he's still watching. When Carly called in, Bobby, the horn dog that he typically is, he called in and was on hold going. And then when I didn't put him on, he immediately left and was very mad at me. How do I know he was mad at me? Because then he used his 8-month Asmaniac super chat to say, "Hi, Carly, my beautiful friend. I wanted to say hi to you and Ace, but I couldn't. Sorry." So Bobby is protesting because I didn't put him on with Carly. That's what happened. No other way to describe the Bobby Midnight situation. So I think Bobby's mad at me. So I think that's what's going down here. But what are you going to do? You can't win them all. Anyway, what a show. Tom says, I need video of Bobby waving profusely to get on the show. I wish I could show you guys the behind the scenes. This is what it looks like. I kid you not. Or it's like 2 arms, sometimes 2. Pick me, pick me. Out of control. But what a night it was. Once again, I want to thank everyone. If you were there last night and you took pictures, tag me on Instagram and Twitter so I can reshare it. Going to make a big post. Post them in the Discord. Get on the Patreon and join the Discord if you haven't. It's been a wild show, folks. It's been a wild night. Thanks to everyone who made it out. Couldn't have done it without you. There'll be more to come. I mean, look at this. What alternate angle of the Jet chant. Look at this crowd. Preseason game. Let's go, baby. It's all happening. I mean, look at this collection of folks here, man. VR. Shout out to Cynthia W. She doesn't call in, but she watches all the show all the time. Bill called in earlier. Blitz BK. Sco. Dre in VR. Lee Van in the house last night. Lee Van doesn't call in often, but he always comes to the events. I mean, just awesome. Also, shout out to VR for the fit. Nobody dresses better than VR at these things, man. 2 handsome gentlemen here, VR and Nick Shine, doing their thing. Clancy, Sco, VR. I'm just going through the Discord right now, quickly showing some pictures. Peter and Clancy, good to see Peter. Came to our event in Jersey last week, too. Ralph was in the house last night. Shout out to Ralph. JT in the house. Do we have video of Dre dancing here? Oh, we just have Dre chanting. Yeah. JC, people thought this was Aaron Rodgers when I shared this. Someone thought this was like Aaron Rodgers. Go on my Instagram if you want to see it. Clancy, myself, and Carly. Carly took my phone and posted this in the Discord last night. There's so many pictures in here. Join the Patreon. Get in the Discord if you're not. That's the best place. Look at this. True meeting of the minds here. JJ and Bonesy. Watching the game. Coming together as one. I Am Philly Noodles was actually at the game last night. Phenom in the house last night with Raymond Luxury Lot, which was great. Raymond came with his wife, so we had a lot of 4%ers in the house last night too. And then this was just classic. Marilyn Monroe and Mr. Bonesy before the party even started. The pregame at Alden's. Unreal. What a time. Thank you all. Whoa. Look who called in at the buzzer here. All right. Show's not over yet. Ladies and gentlemen, we bring on Bob from Vermont.
Hi, everybody. This is Bob from Vermont. I am Bob, of course.
Hello, Bob.
I was in the bathroom when I heard to be called in, so I called in.
Yeah, you didn't call in today, Bobby. I wanted to hear how the stream was last night. It looked like a great time.
It was great. Michael got upset because you weren't saying hello to him.
I didn't see the stream till afterwards. I didn't even know he was there.
Mike, yeah, we told you Mikey was going to be there all night.
Well, I didn't know he was there the whole time. I'm sorry. Hi, Michael.
Well, he's not here now.
Well, tell him I say hello.
Yeah, and I just wanted to say hi to Carly. Just a quick hi.
No, we had a lot of people on the line, Bob. We had to keep the show moving. We couldn't
know,
pause the show for your freakiness.
I was afraid. I just wanted to say a quick hi to her.
Calm your freaky down.
All right. Okay. Have a good day, Jake. Have a wonderful day.
Don't leave, Bobby. I'm just kidding.
Enjoy your day.
You take everything so literal. Calm down. It's okay.
Mhm.
How was the stream? Did you have fun?
Good. Wonderful.
Yep. I like your hat.
Yeah. Well, you gave it to me.
I did.
All right. So you're winding down right now, right? Okay. So I'll let you go. I called in.
Are you going live?
No.
No? Why?
I don't want to.
Well, what are you doing today?
Nothing. Just relaxing.
All right. You take your medicine?
Yes, I did.
Good. TC says, calm your cranky down. You're very cranky, Bob.
I'm not cranky, TC. Won't you mind your business, okay?
Jay says cranky.
Well, Jay, you mind your business too. Okay, goodbye.
John says, ask Bobby about Marilyn singing to him.
Oh, yeah, she sang me the birthday song.
Yeah, did you like that?
Yeah, that was nice.
What were your thoughts on Bobby's Nuts getting a membership from
Yeah, that's
Nick?
Jake West, yeah.
Yeah, are you happy?
Yeah, but then the other B in here better shut his mouth. Bobby Salty Nuts.
Mm-hmm.
He has a big mouth.
He says, get Bobby in a good mood or he abuses us.
Oh, be quiet, Salty Nuts. I don't even know you from grandmother. Shut up.
Do you think it's actually your Salty Nuts?
He was on my show the other day. I couldn't stand his on Nick's show the other day. Don't talk to me, okay? I don't know you. I don't care. You just type in chat and you think you have a big mouth. And you do. And you don't show your face because you're chicken, okay? So just if you call in, I will be much better. So like face to face, talk to me, okay? Okay, goodbye.
Bobby Salty Nuts wrote in. Bobby, hello. Thanks for the transportation.
Oh, shut up. Bobby Salty Nuts, shut up. All right, I'm heading out.
Tom A says, Bobby Salty Nuts ass are about to go on a stick.
Oh, yeah, that's the guy who went on the stick. Yeah, that's the guy right there.
Are you going to put his nuts on the stick or his ass on the stick? How does that work?
Both of them. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, have a good day, Jake. Enjoy.
Bobby, you get some rest today, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Get mine now.
Yep. Farewell.
Well, you know I need to walk more to survive unless Jake is going live. Gotta elevate my leg on Bobby.
Folks, every time I think this show is about to end, somehow an Asmaniac pulls me back in. Like this next guy on the line. Ladies and gentlemen, Charles, Eugene, Anthony, Gorman. Hello, Charles.
Hey, Jake, I'm at my grandmother's. How are you?
I'm good, Charles. How are you?
Good. I'm sure the event went well yesterday for you and your fellow other Asmaniacs.
Yeah, you were missed, Charles, but it was a great turnout. Looking forward to doing more.
Good. I did watch the rest of the game at my house with my father. I know the offense wasn't very good, but the defense played very well, especially Will McDonald. That spin move he made was absolutely nasty.
I agree. What did Dennis think of the spin move?
My father, you mean? I would be appreciated if you called him my father.
But his name is Dennis.
It doesn't matter, Jake. You don't know him that well.
I do know him.
whatever.
Okay. Mr. Gorman, what did he think of the spin move?
He liked it. I mean, he likes Will McDonald. He knows he's an athletic freak. Game was pretty much.
Nate writes in, Charles, you call me Nate, and I don't know you at all.
Because your name is Nate, dumbass.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Your father's name is Dennis.
Yeah, but you don't know him.
But you don't know Nate. He makes a great point.
Well, it's kind of disrespectful to call my father Dennis, and you've only never really talked to him.
Nate says your dad's name is Dennis.
I know. I don't call him Dennis. I call him my father.
Dad is Dennis, yet Charles is the menace.
Haha, very funny, proud New York, Jed. You too, Nick.
Cactus Johnny says it's Mr. Gorman to you, Jake.
Anyway, I just want to give you a huge shout out. Game was fun, even though the Panthers scored the last second, excuse me. It was a fun game defensively. Offensively, they did pretty decent running the football. Braylon Allen made some nice runs. Isaiah Davis got some nice runs. Izzy Abanikanda made some nice runs, too.
He was getting Izzy with it?
He was getting busy with it, maybe.
Izzy with it.
Oh, I get what you're saying.
Green and White Pinstripe says Charles just got caught in his flawed logic. So do you call him father? You don't just say dad?
I do call him dad.
But do you call him father as well?
Not all the time, though. I just call him dad.
You never call him Dennis?
No, because that's disrespectful.
Maybe for you, but for me or for Nate, wouldn't it make sense?
No.
No. What's your grandma's name?
Here, I'll show you to her. Grandma. Don't worry, no, everything's fine. This is my grandmother.
Hello, Grandma.
How you doing?
Good. How are you?
My 98-year-old grandmother I've been telling you guys about.
98? Wow, that's awesome. That is great.
She has all her faculties. She still has sharp as a tack.
Grandma Gorman, we love it.
Yes.
That's incredible. Well, we love Charles. He is a great young man.
Thank you.
Yeah, she has all her faculties, unlike the man we have in the White House.
Charles, we don't do
It's the
politics
truth,
on
though.
this program.
What?
We don't do politics on this program. That's more offensive than me calling your father Dennis.
Oh, stop it, Jake. I know you're pulling a jib.
Pulling a jib?
Anyways, defense played well enough. I really liked what I saw from that other kick return guy, number 43. He looked good. He made a couple of nice returns in the return game, especially on a couple of punts. Malachi Carter made some nice catches, but as I said, it's funny. Last week we were both playing Peasley and Martinez. Now we want to run them out of town. Like, give me a break, guys. We play the Giants this upcoming Saturday at 7:30 Eastern Time. Hopefully it's a good touting for both teams. Peace out, Jake.
Charles, thank you for calling in. And great to meet your grandmother. Thank you, Charles. Man, I'm pulling a jib, man. I don't even know what that means. But if Charles says it, it must be true. John says Charles is goated. Absolutely goated. Agreed. Tom says I left my faculties at T squared last night. Me too, Charles. This show's been not easy, folks. I hope you know how much I love you all. That I'm giving you 2 hours on a Sunday morning after I had at least 8 to 10, I don't even remember, of the green tea shots and at least one of the Asmaniacs drinks. I think. And then after I shouldn't have, but I had another drink when I got dinner with Carly after the event last night. So I am feeling it. Let me make sure I didn't miss any super chats here. Harvey says, I hate to see any of our backs leave. I mean, that they got each one of them under contract now for several more years. I mean, Brees is the closest to hitting free agency, but he's got this year and next year. Let me make sure I didn't miss anything. Joe Mike says, does Charles' grandma know the chicken soup? We should have asked her that. We'll do that next time. Nate writes in, I will only refer to Charles as Dennis's son from now on. Yeah, Nate, I think you got Charles with that logic there, right? You've never met Charles. He calls you Nate. Why can't I call Charles's father Dennis? It actually makes a lot of sense. Anyway, what a show. I thought I was going to end about 30 minutes ago, but then we had Bobby and Charles Gorman back to back. Electricity, as it's known as in the business. That does it for me. I want to thank everyone for their support. Reminder, later today, let's say, how about a 7 p.m. airtime tonight? Best of the Jake Asman Show. Episode 6 available exclusively for channel members. It is a 35-minute edition of the best of. It is hysterical. You're going to laugh your rear ends off. So that's going to do it for me. Once again, thank you all who came out last night. Great to meet many of you. Great to see many of you who I've already met. This community is truly the best. Thank you to T-Squared Social for hosting us. Hit the like button before you leave. Subscribe to this channel if you haven't. We talk Jets every day. You won't find a better community of Jet fans than the Asmaniacs. So thank you all again. Can't say it enough. So great to get everyone together. My name is Jake Asman. We're back tomorrow. 2 shows each day this week. We got some big-time guests set to join us, including Ian O'Connor coming back on the show to talk about his Aaron Rodgers book that he sent me a copy of that I've been reading. That is excellent. So I look forward to breaking that down with him. I'll talk to you guys then. JETS, 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 Jets. Have a great day, everybody. And a big shout out to the great Dennis Gorman.
Look, guys, I don't know how else to say this. Fact of the matter is the team has almost no chance to win this week unless you click on the like button. Also, be sure you're subscribed to the Jake Asman Show. Let's do this. Go Jets.